Well, hello again. Tolley here. This is Draw from Life. And today we're going to look at faces. Basically just the structure of faces, the proportions. These will be generic type faces, no one in particular. So let's just jump right in. Man's face. Yes, squarer. Normally, usually people think the head is an egg shape. It's not really. It's sort of squarish for men, a bit more chiseled at the bottom, like an oval, but squared off at the bottom. So the halfway line is there, of course, for the eyes, and then approximately a third for the bottom of the nose, and then a third again towards the chin for the mouth. So sketching up pretty quickly here at 4 times the speed at which I drew. And I'm going in for shadow here already. Little bit of a cheat there in Photoshop, shifting the top lip just to adjust things. Now remember that each of these lines is not anyone in particular, it's generic. And the thing is, you can form a face absolutely purely out of a generic structure. So I don't have anyone particularly in mind. He's just kind of taking shape on his own. I'm just putting in the structural implementation of proportions, where the eyes go, the nose, the mouth, his chin, and then dropping in some shadow. Basically, as a generic way, I tend to light from the top right corner, shining down, sort of the way I'm lit at the moment. Coming down at a 30 or 45 degree angle from top right corner of camera and across down to the left. So now I'm going in for the female version, and normally they are indeed more oval. Again, very generally speaking, it's a very generic proportion. And when you're drawing somebody in particular, particularly if you're drawing a portrait of somebody who's sitting there right in front of you, then things will change. Of course, they're going to change according to each individual that you're drawing, or if you have a character in mind, an old man with a hooked nose and sunken cheekbones is going to be very, very different, but the beginnings will stay the same. Halfway for the eyes, one third from the chin. Start there and then change things. And then from the eyes, the hairline is usually, a normal hairline is halfway from the eye line to the top of the head. Again, a bald man receding right back. Other people will have lower hairlines. It all depends on the individual. But just for proportion's sake, these are very general proportions, very generic proportions that I'm drawing here. And again, I'm just marking where her eyes would be. Women have generically larger eyes, a more elongated face or a narrower chin. But still, the proportions remain the same. Half, third, and then half for the hairline. And then going in here, adding a bit of shadow to each of them. Here I'm just darkening the pencil lines with a couple of extra layers of copying. And then going in with a shading brush, going over what I'd established to be the areas of shadow with pencil hatching, and then just tightening that up a little bit. And then going in for her hair in a really rough sense, again with all drawing, every single drawing you do, create it as a whole. You need to see the big picture. You need to draw, so you start with the face, you start with the shape, you drop in some proportion lines, some structure lines, and then move around, keep moving around. Do not focus on one eye and get stuck on one eye or the nose. Don't obsess over any particular part of your drawing, because you'll just lock down into that and you'll lose sight of the whole drawing. And you just need to sit back, stand back. I'll be saying that a lot. Always pull back, look at the whole drawing, look at the whole picture. And again, see, working with her hair, with the shading, working the whole drawing. Throw in some shading behind them. Give them a bit of a background to pop forward against, and then take out the mask of their outlines. Get rid of that extra bit of shading just hanging in there. And of course, the absence of shading can also help to extend lines. And then going in for the last bit of darkness in the shadow. Working the whole drawing. Always moving around. Final touches, bit of highlight, and there you have it. So thanks for joining me. I hope that's been helpful. In another episode coming up, I will be using a tilt, or drawing a tilt of the head, both so that we're looking from above in a perspective, looking down, and also a low angle looking up, using the head as the subject so that you can then see how the perspective lines, the ones I mentioned, the halfway line, nose and mouth, and how they tilt and move, and what is obscured when you're looking at a variant of that angle, not just straight on. So thanks for joining me this time around, and see you on the next one.